What's up, everybody? Just thought I would give you another developer update here working on FilmPeaks. I'd like to put these out more often, but sometimes I just get stuck on some things that I can't figure out, and that's what happened for today's topic. So let's get right into it because I don't want to make this video too long. So a couple more major features here for FilmPeaks. I wanted the ability to share things to other people, such as like people's reviews or just movies in general, things like that. So you can actually come in now, let's check out Michael. You do have a way to actually share films themselves now. So if I click that, I'm running on a simulator right now, so I can't actually share it to iMessages and all that. But if you were on a phone, you would be able to do that. So you can share movies that way. You can also come into reviews and share things that way as well. Same deal. You can text that to people and all that. So sharing, that was actually one of those things where every now and again as a developer, you run into things and you just don't understand them. And this one kind of took me a while because I was dealing with sharing and then also notifications, which I'll get to in a second. And basically there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, especially with like requiring a domain so that you can tie a URL and then be able to map that URL on your app to say like, am I on mobile, am I on web, do I need to go to this route, that route, things like that. But it's all hooked up now, and that is there. And I mentioned push notifications. So now if you create a review and somebody likes it, if I were to come in and like this review, then it's my review. So I would actually get a notification saying that this user liked it. Same thing with comments. And if you don't want that stuff, you can go into your profile and go into your settings and go into notification settings. And right now, because I'm on a simulator, it's turned off. You do have to allow them in the first place. If you never allow them, then you'll just never get notifications and you don't have to worry about it. But I'm wanting to keep them simple for now. I don't want to just pelt people with notifications. I'm sick and tired of Facebook telling me every day that this person has a birthday and there's a marketplace event near you or this event happening in your town. Like, I don't care. Stop telling me all this stuff. I have to turn them off in different ways every single time there's an update from every single app. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to keep it simple here. I'm going to go baby steps with notifications. So right now, all we're doing is starting off with, hey, somebody liked your review, somebody liked your comment, probably expand it from there. If you guys want more notifications coming at you, it's possible. I have the framework set up for that, but it is there. If you care about the more technical side of things, really what's happening is each device that you own, basically I have to save a push token if you allow notifications in a database somewhere. And as mentioned in a previous video, I am using Supabase for that. So then on the flip side of that, I'm also using edge functions within Supabase. So you like somebody's comment, it triggers an edge function and says, hey, does this user have a push token? If it does, send them a notification of this type with this path so that it routes you to the correct place in the app. And that was another thing that was just really hard for me to understand at first. Now, I do still consider this app as handcrafted, not vibe coded, but I did have to ask AI some questions here on the best way to handle these. So I did have to kind of let AI take the wheel in a couple places to give me suggestions, especially because, and this is leading into another thing for this update, I'm using what is called Expo to build this app. So it's basically a framework to write the code once and be able to deploy that anywhere. So you can deploy to Android, iOS, and web most of the time. And I upgraded the SDK version from 53 to 54, and they are just now getting ready to ramp up 55. But the issue is you do want to kind of stay behind for a little bit because in my case, I am using some dependencies from other companies such as Flash List. If you are using Expo or React Native, chances are you're using Shopify's Flash List and maybe some other components as well. And whenever you update the SDK, sometimes dependencies don't line up, some things need updated. You can run into some real problems with that. So I waited to upgrade to the major version, but that is now in place as well. So that also includes a lot of like vulnerability fixes and enhancements. And if I wanted to, I could do more stuff with Apple's glass features and things like that. So that is also in place, but I used to follow a lot of their guides. Shout out to Code with Beto. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, but he used to work for Expo, and he has a lot of great guides out there on how to do this stuff. But he has since left and now does work, I think, just on his own with React Native, not Expo so much anymore. So there's a lot of older guides from him that are great, but not so much these days if you want to stick with Expo. But so another issue I ran into, and I'm just calling this out as like a word of warning for anybody else that might want to deploy a mobile application. The app has already been on the App Store for Android and iOS since like, I want to say late December of 2025. And I've had no issues with like screenshots and that type of stuff. But for whatever reason, this time I got flagged by Apple because they were saying I was using images for self-promotion that was like, I forget the exact wording they used, but it was like false advertisement essentially. And I'll show you a comparison here. So if I were to look at the Android screenshots first, you know, we have John Wick 4. It's just an example of like, here's what a movie looks like on the app. Okay, so then let's go over to what I had to do to actually pass for Apple. So now they're kind of misaligned for screenshots, but you'll notice I had to blur out all of the movie posters, and then I had to change the name. So, you know, John Vic, I just made up Galactic Space Quest. Things are blurred over here. We got Dreb, and then I had a picture of Sydney Sweeney as just an actor profile on here, and I guess you're not technically allowed to do that, so I blurred it and changed it to Margot Robbie instead. So that is another thing that I had to change, but those are kind of the major things for this update. I just wanted to let you know about it. So I'm still active on this, trying to improve it where I can here and there, while also trying to make some reviews at the same time. So still not really advertising this anywhere except on the YouTube channel, I guess. So I got a couple views there above 150 viewers. So we're getting somewhere a little bit there. But if you want to check out more information, just keep following the YouTube and all that. Let me know what kind of features you would want in here. I kind of do have a solid base at this point where I can add features in the future. I still have more planned. I'll keep you updated in future updates, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what kind of stuff I've been working on. Still going to be creating some reviews, and join in when you can. I invite you to check it out. It's an easy time to work on this right now because I don't have a ton of users. I can kind of just do whatever I want and get it out there very quickly. So yeah, that's your invitation to check it out if you want. FilmPeaks on the iOS and the Android store. There's a website for it too, film-peaks.com. Check it out, and I'll see you at the top.